Hey everybody, welcome back to Royal Tarot Readings. This is my fun channel that I do for tarot readings on the royal family. All information presented in this video is for fun and entertainment purposes only. It's fun, it's tarot. I'm just a gal with cards. Alright, so maybe as you can hear, I have a new microphone. I hope you can hear me very well. I did a test with it. It seems very strong, very powerful, so I hope that you can hear me with no problems. All right, so the other thing I'm going to do is, this is going to be a reading on King Arthur. And since it's got a lot of magic involved with it, let's light my candle by magic. Ready? Poof! And there we go! Yay! Okay, so what I'm going to do is, if you saw my Henry VIII video that I did, and if you didn't, I'll put it right up there for you. I'm going to do this reading in a very similar fashion that I did the Henry VIII with his relationship with the 6 wives. This one's going to be King Arthur and his relationship with 6 of the historical figures, the main figures that are involved in his story. So I'll go over those in a minute. I'm sure you all know the legend of King Arthur, but I'll do a quick little wrap, little synopsis for you. Of course, King Arthur was... the legend is that he became king by drawing the sword Excalibur from the stone, and that the prophecy was whoever could draw the sword from the stone would become king of all England, and Merlin was supposed to help him do that. All right, so then when Arthur became king, he met a woman. Some legends say he met 2 women named Guinevere, and he had a wife. Actually, 2 wives named Guinevere. The first one was supposed to have died on childbirth, and the second one is the very famous one that we all are aware of. Guinevere, who was actually barren and could not have children. And then, of course, we have Lancelot du Lac, which is Lancelot of the Lake, and his father was supposed to be King Ben in France, and he came to the court of King Arthur to be a knight of the Round Table, and he was one of his finest knights. Unfortunately, he also fell in love with Guinevere, and she fell in love with him. And they had a romantic relationship. They were caught, and a lot of drama ensued in which Arthur had to declare war on Lancelot. He was going to burn Guinevere at the stake for her betrayal. Lancelot came and saved her at the last minute. Then they came to see Arthur after when the siege was going to happen, and Guinevere said that she had become a nun and she was not with Lancelot anymore, and they begged his forgiveness. So then we have Merlin, of course. Merlin was the court magician. I did do a reading on Merlin, and again, I'll put it for you up here for you if you haven't seen it. All right, so we know a lot about Merlin, and then we have Mordred and Morgana, or Morgase, depending on who is relating the story. And I'll put a description, or I'll put a little blurb in the description about the different authority figures that are there that have written stories on Arthur. But Mordred, okay, so Morgana was Arthur's half-sister, and he apparently met her and didn't realize who she was, and they had a little rendezvous, a little tryst, and the product was Mordred. And Mordred came to the court of King Arthur when he was a young man, and Arthur was going to announce him as his son, but wanted to see what his character was first, which was smart because Mordred ended up betraying Arthur by stirring up trouble with the Knights of the Round Table, got an army together, and ended up attacking Arthur. And during the battle, Mordred mortally wounded Arthur, and Arthur, before he, we don't know that he actually died, but before he was supposed to have died, he then turned his sword on Mordred and killed Mordred. Then the Lady of the Lake appeared and took Arthur's body to the lake, or to the island of Avalon, where he was going to be healed. And Arthur would come back to the land when in the time of Britain's greatest need. All right, and then we have also the story of Percival. Percival was also a knight of the Round Table. He was supposed to be the son of King Pellinore, and he was the knight who originally saw the Holy Grail, and this was when Arthur fell ill, and the land was suffering because he was ill, because he was linked with the land. And Percival saw the Holy Grail, didn't realize that he had to ask a very important question, and made it his life's mission to find the Holy Grail again, which he is supposed to have done Arthur drank from the grail and he was cured and the land recovered. So we're going to find out about Arthur's relationship with all these figures. We're going to ask about their role in the story, is it true? And then I'm going to ask, how did King Arthur feel about each person at the end of their relationship? What was the karma between them? And if they are reincarnated back into the British royal family, who are they now? All right, so long preamble, but I wanted to get that out there for you. Okay, so I'm going to use the Ancient Whispers Tarot, again by Lunar Sisters, a great deck, especially when I'm asking about the past. All right, so let's get going. There are going to be a lot of cards flying around here. And one more thing before I get started. I wanted to thank everybody for all your wonderful responses on my last video. Yes, someone, ended up saying I was disrespectful, which I know I wasn't. But I really do appreciate all of your responses. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm a pretty tough cookie. It'll take a lot more than someone being mean to me on YouTube for me to leave. So don't worry about that. I am a pretty tough cookie. All right, so here we go. Usually when people try to challenge me, I look them straight in the face and say, go on, roll the dice. See what happens. That's just me. Okay. All right, so here we go. We are going to start shuffling and asking about, wait, shuffle alert, shuffle alert. If you do not like my shuffling, please skip ahead. You are not going to hurt my feelings. It's totally okay. All right, here we go. All right, so for King Arthur, we are going to ask, did King Arthur exist? And we'll have a card for King Arthur. The Knight of Pentacles. Ooh. All right, a little bit early to start reading the cards, but okay, so did King Arthur exist? And for Guinevere, did she exist and was she the wife of Arthur? The one that we all are familiar with. Was she the wife of Arthur? And for Lancelot, did he betray Arthur with Guinevere? Did they have an affair? And the both of them ended up betraying Arthur by having the affair. Because according to English law, which I think still exists today, it is actually treason to sleep with the wife of a monarch. And it is punishable by death. All right, so for Merlin, did Merlin help Arthur become king? Oh, and I forgot to ask about Lancelot too. What was this one? Oh, the King of Pentacles. Well, my goodness. Okay, this might be Merlin here. He was supposed to be royal in his own right. All right, so for Lancelot, I already asked about that. Okay, and Merlin, did he help Arthur become king? Knight of Swords. The Emperor. Oh my goodness. Okay. Which of course is the king. Might have been an answer right there. For Mordred, did Mordred oops, what's my question here? Okay, did Mordred mortally wound Arthur in battle? Did Mordred mortally wound Arthur in battle? And Morgana, or Morgase, whatever her name was, did she, as his half-sister, did she sleep with Arthur to produce Mordred? Did she, did she sleep with Arthur to produce Mordred? And for Percival, son of King Pellinore, did he actually find the Holy Grail? Is he the knight that actually found the Holy Grail? All right. And then finally, let's find out how Arthur felt about each of these main figures. Six of Pentacles. Okay, it's about an imbalance in giving and receiving. What was the karma between them, between King Arthur and each of these six figures? And if they are reincarnated back into the royal family today, who are they? Who are they? All right. So we have a lot of questions here. We're going to have a lot of cards. But last time I did this, it was really, really fun. So we'll see how this comes out. Oop. Seven of Pentacles. That's about putting in hard work. Ooh, death, transformation. Okay. All right. We'll do one or two more shuffles here. These cards definitely are ready to talk. Now, when cards start flying out like this, it's not because I'm a bad shuffler, although I am a bad shuffler, but it's usually because the cards are ready. They're bursting with energy and they're ready to speak. So that's why tarot readers will shuffle until they get some action from the cards, if you're new to my channel. All right, go ahead and cut. Ooh, a double cut. Which usually means I'm about to get, let's see, a cut here, it goes on top. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to have one card for King Arthur, right there. And we're going to have one for Guinevere, Lancelot, Merlin, Mordred, Morgana, and Percival. So that's going to be the question we asked about whether they existed and whether their part in the story is true. Now this is going to be, how did Arthur feel about each person at the end of their relationship? Not the beginning, but at the end of their relationship. What was the karma between them? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if they're reincarnated, I cannot talk tonight. If they're reincarnated back into the royal family, who are they? And we'll have one card for Arthur. And then we're going to have one card for everyone else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, this is going to be a long reading, so get your tea, get your favorite drink of choice, and let's get into this as soon as we do the underlying energy. Ooh, the Devil in reverse. Oh my goodness. And the Hanged Man in reverse. Ooh, and the Ace of Wands in reverse. Wow, we have a lot of reversals here. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I owe the Devil Swear Jar $8. All right, there we go. We have $1 for the Devil Swear Jar. Because if you're new to my channel, whenever the devil shows up in a reading, I put $1 in the Devil Swear Jar. In June, at the end of June and the end of December, you guys are going to vote on where this money is going to be donated. So we're going to do 2 donations this year. And whatever the total is in the jar, we're going to donate all that to a charity that you guys are going to select. All right. King Arthur. What was his energy back then? The Queen of Pentacles in reverse? Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles upright is about a balance between work and home. It's a very feminine energy, and in reverse, it's about an imbalance between work and home, and it can also mean a very, very tough, very determined energy. So Arthur had more of a feminine energy than he did even though he was a very masculine person, his energy, he definitely had an imbalance between work and home. He of course was the king, and he had more things to do with his job than he did at home. Oh, how very interesting. All right, and my goodness, we have our underlying energy. The Devil, of course, in reverse is about freeing yourself from addiction, from dark energy. This is about things, dark thoughts, dark feelings. Of course, because upright, the Devil is about dark energy and about addiction and doing things, hurting people. And in reverse is about wanting to free yourself from that energy. The Hanged Man in reverse upright, it is about you're stuck and you're not sure where you're going in life. You're kind of withdrawing now and trying to figure out what it is you're trying to do. You're stuck. You're stuck and you can't figure out what way to go. And in reverse, it's about you finally reach a place where you can move forward because you've determined what it is you need to do. And the Ace of Wands upright is about new ideas, very fruitful ideas. And in reverse, it's about an idea that's not really going anywhere. It eventually will fail. Interesting underlying energy. All right, so for Guinevere. Was Guinevere the wife of King Arthur? Oh, the Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, she was of the crown, but in reverse, this is talking about the fact that she was not able to continue the line. She was barren. She couldn't continue the line to continue the crown forward. It stopped with her. Oh, wow, how very interesting. And she had addiction issues. Apparently, she had an addiction, of course, too. Oh, well, we'll go with that in a minute. But she, even though she loved Arthur, she was trying to free herself of this addiction that took her away from him. And she knew what her position was in the wife of the monarch, and she finally reached the point where she could go forward with it, even though she knew that she was not able to continue the line. And that was a hard thing for her to bear, because the idea that they had of creating this Camelot and this land where it was peaceful, this wonderful idea that they talked about together, it did not bear fruit because she was barren. Okay, very interesting. All right. For Lancelot du Lac, Did he betray Arthur with Guinevere? Justice. My goodness. Wow, what a card. So justice is about a legal decision, a legal issue. Yeah, this was treason. This was treason what they did, and yeah, that is true. And they didn't want to do it. They tried to free themselves of each other, but the addiction they had for each other was so strong that he knew also what his mission in life was. But by the time he realized how to go forward with it, he was already entangled with Guinevere. And the idea that they had this Knight of the Round Table, this idea of a wonderful, peaceful land where might above right, or I'm sorry, not might. What did he say? Might for right? Not might is right, but might for right. That was something that they couldn't bring to fruition because of this terrible addiction that got between them. Wow. I can't believe the cards I'm getting. Okay. Merlin, did he help Arthur become king? The King of Pentacles again. When I asked this question, when I was shuffling, this card popped out. Yes, he did. And Arthur apparently was the King of Pentacles, even though with his Queen of Pentacles, they could not continue. He couldn't move forward with it because she was barren. Oh my goodness. All right, so the King of Pentacles. Merlin, did he help Merlin become king? He absolutely did. And he used dark arts to do it. He used dark arts to do it. And he went through the turmoil of what he had to do to help Arthur become king. And it helped. He was moving the idea forward of hoping that he could, he had the idea and he had to wait for it. And finally, when he made Arthur king, or when he helped Arthur become king, then that idea was free now to go out into the world. But it was something that was not meant to be. Wow. All right. And for Mordred, did Mordred mortally wound Arthur? Death. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to say that's a yes. This is an ending. This is a transformation. He sure did. And he did it with very evil intentions. He could not free himself of this role that he was playing. Whoops. And he came out of his shell and he came to the court of Arthur, and he went forward with the idea. He had the idea when he got there. It wasn't something that he dreamed of when he got to the court. He went to the court with that in mind. And he was instrumental in destroying this idea that they had through his dark intentions. Wow. Did he mortally wound Arthur? He did. Wow. Can't believe the cards. Wow. All right, Morgana or Morghese. Did she sleep with Arthur as his half-sister to produce Mordred? Seven of Pentacles. That was her return on investment. It sure was. So she put a lot of work into this, and she was waiting for her return on investment. She absolutely did. And I don't see any cups here. There was no love involved. I think she might have known who he was. He didn't know who she was. And she, of course, had no good intentions with it. She was just trying to not free herself from this dark energy. She was manipulating it as she was manifesting it. And this was her plan all along. She went in search of him and found a way to sleep with him. And the idea that she had, even her idea of creating a son who would then go forth and destroy Camelot or destroy Arthur, it ended up, she wanted to put her son on the throne. It ended up not working. Her idea was also, it didn't bear fruit. Oh my goodness, wow. It was return on her investment. No love there, though. All right, and Percival, did the son of King Pellinore, did he find the Holy Grail? Was he the knight who found the Holy Grail? The Two of Swords. He tried twice. And he finally did. He had that decision when he first saw the Holy Grail and he didn't know what to do. And then he made a plan and he went out determined, in a very determined manner, to seek out that Grail again. He tried twice and he finally did it. Yeah, he did. And the first time he felt like it was all his fault, and he tried to free himself of that horrible disappointment and that failure, that he felt like such a failure, and he made it his life's mission to find the Grail, to help Arthur. And even though he did help Arthur and it helped cure the land for a little while, it ended up not being something that was meant to last. Wow, he did it twice. Wow, oh my goodness. Okay, now our next question. How did Arthur feel about Guinevere at the end of their relationship, when she became a nun? The Six of Wands. Oh, such a disappointment. So Six of Wands upright is about a personal celebration, or a very public celebration. And in reverse, it's about the failure of this, the failure of the plan, the failure of the idea. He felt like such a failure, like it was such a loss to him. Oh my. This is also, the Six of Wands is also about disloyalty and treachery. About the gates being opened by the enemy. He felt like she was the conduit that ruined everything. Oh, wow. And no matter how she tried to free herself from the addiction, she couldn't. And at the end, she finally went to a convent. And he felt like it was through her that everything was destroyed. And wow, I'm getting such a feeling here of such despair and sorrow, and just, even though he knew that she was the treachery that destroyed everything, he just felt such despair at how everything ended up. And because of her, the dream of Camelot was gone. I'm actually getting choked up here. Wow. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Lancelot. How did King Arthur feel about Lancelot at the end of their relationship? The Page of Pentacles. He felt like Lancelot was he was the con man. He was the fraud. He felt like, for all his talk and for everything that he said about being such a pure knight, such pure of heart and such mighty strength, that he had the energy of a youngster. He was just a con man selling him a shiny object. Wow. I did not expect that. He felt like, you were the con man that ruined my life. Wow. And that no matter how Lancelot tried to free himself from his addiction of Guinevere, he couldn't do it. And everything that he thought would come out, he thought that he could free himself, and he never could. And that ruined his plans here, and it just ruined Camelot. It ruined the idea of a peaceful land under one king. Wow, he saw him as the con man who ruined everything. Oh my goodness. All right, and for Merlin, how did Arthur feel about Merlin at the end of their relationship? The Six of Pentacles. That also popped out when I was shuffling in reverse. It also showed up in reverse. So this is about there's an imbalance of giving and receiving, that he received from Merlin, and he didn't give anything to Merlin. He just received from him, and that was their dichotomy. That was their relationship, where Merlin gave and gave and gave to him. I keep hitting my microphone. I hope it's not causing an issue. Merlin gave and gave and gave to Arthur, and Arthur never knew how to give back to him. So he felt like he was very grateful to Merlin for everything he did, but he wished that he could have done more for him. Oh, that's very interesting. Wow. and that the Merlin, even though he was a good man, he had his bad side as well. And he was trying to free himself of the way that he used his arts. He tried not to use the bad side of it, the dark arts. But I think he ended up getting too close to the sun. And it caught him in the end. And that their relationship started off well. It started off with good intentions, but it just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be that you would have, at that time, in the medieval times, in the Dark Ages, a peaceful land under one king. So he felt like Merlin gave him way more than Arthur gave to Merlin. That's how he felt at the end. He was very grateful to Merlin. And for Mordred, how did Arthur feel about Mordred at the end of their relationship? Which should be interesting, since Mordred mortally wounded him in battle. Five of Cups, such regret and disappointment. I fully expected something like, you treacherous butthead. It's like, wow, he was just so disappointed. So disappointed and regretful. Because Mordred was his son. He could have carried on the line. He could have, if he had been a good man, but he wasn't. And I think that it was because of his mother who pushed him towards this dark side. And Mordred actually tried to free himself of it, but he couldn't. He didn't know how to. He was too young. And the relationship was tried to have a good start, but it just wasn't meant to be. It was not meant to be. So how did he feel about Mordred at the end? It was just bitter regret and disappointment. He had to kill him. Wow. Kill your own son. Wow. Okay. And for Morgana or Margase, how did Arthur feel about his half-sister at the end of their relationship? The Emperor in reverse. She killed the throne. She was the person who betrayed him. He was so angry at her. This is the anger. This is the very, very angry king. He was so angry at her. That's all he could think of was, how do I destroy her? How could she do this to me? And if he could have reached out and used dark arts against her, he would have. And I think he wanted Merlin to, but Merlin wouldn't do it. By then, Merlin was trapped. And their relationship, that started off well, and because she was a half-sister, but she never had good intentions on him. He was so angry at her at the end, which is very understandable. She was the one who ruined the crown. Wow. She stopped the continuation. Through her, the king died. Okay. And then for Percival, because at the end, when Arthur was laying there mortally wounded, it was Percival who came up to him, and Arthur was the one who told him, take Excalibur and throw it back into the lake. And Percival wouldn't do it at first, and then he finally did, and then he went back to report to Arthur, but by then, the Lady of the Lake had taken Arthur off to be healed at Avalon. So how did he feel about Percival at the end of their relationship? The Tower. Percival was there to see the destruction. He saw everything. This gives me goosebumps. Wow. He felt like you were there with me at the destruction of everything. He was almost like his comrade in arms. They saw the destruction together. And they were so close to freeing themselves from the grips of the dark energy, but they couldn't. And he was very grateful to him for everything that he tried to do, but in the end, it was not meant to be. Wow, the Tower. All right, now let's find out what was the karma between King Arthur and Guinevere. What was the karma between them? The Six of Swords. Okay, so the Six of Swords upright is about transition. It's about going overseas. It's about going from troubled waters to calmer waters. Their karma was that she was there to try to help calm the situation, that he needed someone to carry forward. They had been together before in this type of situation, trying to calm things. And she was the one who was supposed to come back and calm things down. But she was just a transition. She wasn't actually she did not have the ability to carry things forward. So her karma was to come and calm things for a while. It's temporary. That's confusing. All right, so why was she there? She was there. Their karma was one of transition. I don't think they had a lot of karma between them. It was just a transitional. You know how you say after you break up with someone and then you're with someone else, it's like a transitional relationship? That's almost what like they had. Just a transitional relationship. Because she could never free herself from the addiction that she had. I almost feel like I think that she had some other kind of addiction to something else. Something we don't know about it. She was the transition. She was the transition. I still think he did have another wife of the same name. And she was after that wife. All right, what was the karma between King Arthur and Sir Lancelot? The Five of Pentacles in reverse. So the Five of Pentacles upright is about being cut out, you're cast out, never to return. And in reverse, it's about you're cast out, but you come back. So the karma between them was that he would be cast out, and he was banished as a knight. He came here for that. He came here to be disgraced. And there was some intent on him coming back, but that karma was not fulfilled. Because if he could have freed himself from the addiction he had of Guinevere, that would have happened. But his plan wasn't a good plan. He could never free himself, and so it wasn't meant to be. So his karma was to be cast out. He had to suffer that punishment. That's exactly what he came here to do. All right? What was the karma between King Arthur and Merlin, the magician? The Seven of Wands in reverse. Oh, wow. So the Seven of Wands upright is about being, you're unexpectedly in battle. People are attacking you from all directions, but you're holding your own. And in reverse, it's about being completely overwhelmed and exhausted by all the attacks. What was his karma with Arthur? It was to take all the blows. He was the buffer. He was like the person who would take all the blows that were aimed at Arthur and to absorb them, and then almost like an empath to take that pain and anguish onto himself and then destroy it. And he used his dark arts to do that. And that was his plan when he came here. He knew instinctively that this idea that they had to be one king under a peaceful land, he knew it wasn't going to work. But he was there to take all the blows for Arthur. Wow. It's very sad. What was the karma between Mordred and Arthur? Oh, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. He was there to be the evil young energy. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse is about a very, very vicious soldier. This is about carelessness. This is about recklessness. This is about laziness, stagnation. He was there to try to stop this idea. He was there as an obstacle. He was meant to do that. His role was to destroy this idea of this peaceful land. Oh, wow. So it was always never meant to be? Well, that's interesting. He was there to stop the idea of a peaceful land under one king. The world wasn't ready for it yet. The world was not ready for it yet, and he was there to destroy the idea. Wow. Oh, that gives me goosebumps too. Oh my goodness. How unexpected. What was the karma between King Arthur and Morgana, his half-sister? Oh, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. She was there to be disgraced. This is disgrace for a single woman, a single wealthy woman. In reverse, she becomes just a pariah. That was her goal. She was there to do that. She was there to be someone who would be disgraced by her role in the destruction of this idea of a Camelot. But every card I'm seeing is it saying this was meant to be. It had to be this way. The world wasn't ready yet for a peaceful land under one king. There was too much to work out. And she, at times, did not like the role that she was playing, but by the time she felt that way, it was too late. And her plan was from the beginning. She planned this to make sure that this idea did not grow. Wow. Every single card is saying that this idea was not meant to be. All right, and what was the karma between Percival and Arthur? The Two of Wands. In reverse, the Two of Wands upright is about making plans, and you have two things you can do. Oh gosh, the two again. In reverse, it's about the plans don't work out, it fails. So even though he was there and he found the Holy Grail, nothing he did could save this idea. Because in the end, it just wasn't meant to be. The idea was not meant to grow, even though it started out with a good intentions. He did free himself. He was never really a devilish energy. He was able to circumvent around the obstacles that were put in his way. He did everything that he came there to do. He was there to try, but in the end, it was no matter what he did, it was not going to work because that's how it was supposed to be. My goodness, did not expect any of this here. Okay, all right. Now, our last very interesting question. If any of these figures are reincarnated back today into the British royal family, who are they? We'll start with Arthur. Who is Arthur right now? Judgment. Oh my goodness. He is back and he is in a role, he's going to be the judge. He's going to be the judge. He is the one who is determining the direction and the fate of Britain. In my last reading, when I did Henry VIII and Catherine Howard was back and she was the judge, I said she was in Parliament. So Arthur is somewhere where he is going to judge. He is going to make some kind of decision or proclamation or some decree that is going to guide the path of Britain. And it will be a true judgment. This is inescapable. And it's freeing themselves from the addiction of the dark arts. His ruling is going to free himself. It's going to free Britain from the grips of the devil, of the dark arts, and the plan is already in place. And I don't like the Ace of Wands here because that means the idea is not going to bear fruit. They're going to make every effort that they can. But Arthur is here. He's somewhere in a very, very high legal position. Oh my goodness. All right. So if Guinevere has reincarnated back into this British royal family, the current British royal family, who is she? The Two of Pentacles. She's someone who, she is back, and she is someone who is helping determine the direction of money. You know, I think we also had, I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look at the Henry VIII reading, but we had this for another of Henry VIII's wives. I think it was Jane Seymour. But she is someone who is working with money, helping to direct what happens with money. Money from the crown. She's the one who determines where money goes. And she's making sure it does not go in a dark place with people who do not have good intentions for that money. And things are in place to make sure that happens, that everything stays away. And they're trying to make sure that the plans that the dark energy has made is not going to come to fruition. So she's somewhere in the British royal family where she's dealing with money. Wow. Okay. All right. She might even be two people. All right. And for for Lancelot, if he is reincarnated back into the British royal family, who is he? The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. He's not back. He has not come back. This is a no. He's not back. He has not reincarnated back into the British royal family. All right. And for Merlin, if he is reincarnated back into the British royal family, who is he? The Nine of Wands. He is someone who puts up a barrier. He is the protector. He is a protector. He is someone who has put up protection and a barrier so that nothing gets past to hurt the royal family. He is some kind of protector, and he's protecting against dark arts. He's protecting, his magic is still at work. He is protecting against the dark arts of addiction and bad intentions. And everything is already in place because he wants to make sure that the plans that were made by this dark energy does not come to fruition. Wow. He's someone who is the one who is battling everyone and keeping that barrier up. Oh my goodness. Okay. I haven't got any really direct answers on who these people are. All right. And for Mordred, if he is reincarnated back into the British royal family, who is he? The Eight of Swords. He's in a trap. Mordred is not back. He is not. It's almost like he's in some sort of a purgatory trap. His soul is not allowed to reincarnate back. Oh wow, I wonder why. He has not resolved how to free himself from the dark energy that was put in, that he followed before. And even though he's tried and had plans to come back, it hasn't come to fruition. He's in a trap. He can't come back. Wow. I don't know if he ever will. Wow. All right. For Morgana, Arthur's half-sister, if she has reincarnated back into the British royal family, who is she? Oh my God. The Lovers in reverse. Well, this always represents Harry and Meghan. Morgana Le Fay is Meghan? Wow. Okay, so when we did Henry VIII, we had that Anne Boleyn was scattered, her energy was scattered among three people. She could be scattered among Harry and Meghan. Her energy could be completely directing them. my God, Morgana Le Fay is Harry and Meghan. Still trying to destroy the crown. Her mission's the same. She did it in the past and she's trying to do it again. She's still trying to free herself, but she can't. She doesn't want to. And she's already got her idea set, and she's trying to make this, she's trying to destroy the plans of the crown. Oh my God, her mission is the same. Morgana Le Fay is still trying to destroy the crown. Oh my God. Wow. I got goosebumps. Wow. Okay. And Percival, if he is reincarnated back into the British royal family, who is he? The Ace of Swords. He is back. And he's a warrior. He is still a warrior. He is still fighting for truth and justice. Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps on Percival. Wow. I mean, like, serious goosebumps. Wow. He's a soldier, he's a warrior, and he will not stop until truth and justice is fulfilled. He is fighting against the dark arts, and he'll win. Percival is the one who's going to beat the whole thing. Who is Percival? Percival's energy is the one who's going to free the royal family from the grips of the dark arts and addiction. He's already got his plans made, and he's going to cancel out this idea that the things aren't going to work out. He's going to make sure that the energy of the devil is not fulfilled. The ideas that the dark energy has to destroy the British royal family, it's not going to work. And Percival is going to be the one who stops it. Wow. Oh my God. Well, my goodness. I would do a wrap-up, but this is a lot to wrap up. So I'm just going to say this was unbelievably interesting. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so overall, pretty much what I'm seeing here is that everything played out as it was supposed to, because at that time in the medieval Dark Ages, the land was not ready to support peace under one king. It wasn't, they were too soon. It was a wonderful idea, but couldn't happen because it was destined not to happen. But the idea was there, so that generations moving forward would then come back to this idea and try to do it again. I think that's where we are right now. And Percival is going to be key to it. He's the one who's going to make it work. Oh my goodness. And Harry and Meghan are here, and they're trying to do again what they did before. Destroy the royal family with a child. Oh my God, oh my God. Okay. I hope you found that interesting. I found that fascinating. I'm probably going to revisit this idea and the legend of King Arthur. Oh my goodness, that was fascinating. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please like and share. And if you're a subscriber, thank you so much. I do these Legends of the Past readings, and they're always so fascinating. Go back and revisit some of the ones I did. They're absolutely unbelievable. And if you're not a subscriber, you need to subscribe so that you don't miss any more readings like this, because this blew me away. Thank you everyone for joining me, and thanks for being here with me on Royal Tarot Readings. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.